everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I have another episode of my Extreme Ultimate Decades Challenge. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting below. Let me know what you're enjoying about my Extreme Ultimate Decades Challenge this far. Today is another What's Going On in the World episode. We are moving on into the war. We're going to be entering in our world. So I've been talking more about where characters are in the background. So today we're going to have some family weddings of the cousins, so that way they can try to procreate before they go off to war. And we will, in the next episode, be in a new save file. So I'm very excited to show that to you guys. If you feel like the last few years of Extreme Ultimate Decade have been broken up into pieces, it's just because I'm trying different formulas, because our family tree has gotten so big and we want to know where certain characters are, as well as our story is getting big. We have multiple kingdoms. Now we have a fractured kingdom that has been split into several different pieces, and I can't wait to draw a map out and show you guys. But it's also because my save file is very corrupt. I'm very lucky that it opens still, but to curate an episode and have the characters actually doing things, it has been really hard. And I have thought it was mods for a very long time, but I actually play tested prior saves, literally that are 2 years old in the save file. So I recovered saves that were from when Halia and Jacob first had kids, and I started having that bicycle glitch whenever For Rent came out. So it is just one of those bugs in the systems that happens. It's not triggered by a mod. It is just triggered by bad coding. And other people, if you look it up, like bicycle spawning everywhere in the Sims, don't play with mods in CC. It is an ongoing problem that is just a script error. And unfortunately, it did happen in my Extreme Ultimate Decade save. So what we are doing, again, I'm long-winded. This challenge I talk the most, so I'm so sorry. If you would like to hear me talk less, please go to a different one of my challenges. But I just want to explain to the guys who have been watching this for 2 years. This challenge has been going on for 2 years, so I just want you guys to know what we're doing. I have to play with mods. It is a medieval challenge. I mean, some people don't play with mods and just use what we have in the game, but I definitely play with CCM mods because I want that full immersion for a medieval inspired fantasy time period. I like that kind of storytelling. So to not play vanilla, we're gonna have to go into, well, I can't even play the save file anymore even without mods, because the bike glitch has nothing to do with mods. It still happens when I play with it with no mods. What I have to do now is go in and make a new save file, save all the characters, put them in the new save file, and we're gonna have to have everyone related to each other through MCC, which I can do for cousins and stuff like that. And if anyone gets lost on the family tree and they don't recognize each other as family anymore, we'll just chalk that up to being very common in medieval times, and we'll just roll with it, because I am doing the very best I can to create the save file. I'm trying to decide. I've actually got 2 going right now that I'm trying to do. You guys let me know what you think. I have a blank save file where I was going to put down my own lots and just build it from there. Or I was going to try one that was already set up for a medieval timeline. So it has like a lot of fantasy builds made by someone else. So we could have really cool things to explore together. I think that would be really fun. I just have to get rid of their characters and put in my own characters. I also will not be playing with a royalty mod anymore, because I think that mod really slows down my game and I don't feel like it adds a lot of features. We will just say if someone is a king, queen, lord, lady, we'll just annotate it. So without further ado, that is the update of my challenge. I just want to have clear communication with you guys, because this one is a labor of love to put together, and right now it's just the save file is at the end of its life. So I always try to offer that fair transparency so you know what's going on and you guys don't feel like I abandoned it. The first episode of the war draft will be on Thursday, so it will not be a gameplay either. We're just going to see who's going to go to war, and I will let you guys know then which save file I decided to move forward with, the blank one or the already built one that someone else built. And from there, we will next week have our first gameplay of the war 1337. So thank you guys so much for being understanding, as I have spent this last month trying to revive as much of the save file as I possibly could. All right, let's get into the weddings. Thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk. Right, so in the last episode, we did that Amor, which Isabella is still, Lady Isabella is still alive. We've talked about the Enchanted Forest here is on the outskirts of the Magic Realm. So the Enchanted Forest of Glimmerbrook, because I was going to originally rename everything, but then I realized that is way too hard to do when you're telling a story and playing a game. The Enchanted Forest of Glimmerbrook is got this like fog, if you can kind of tell. It's on the outskirts of the magic realm, and no one who is a magical creature who's not a magical creature cannot find it anymore. They've reactivated their barrier spell, which they did kind of loosen back after the vampiric plague. When they wiped that darkness from the world, they did allow access to at least the enchanted forest, but never the magic realm, of course. Now, so the Gothic family's giant manor house is deep in the heart of the enchanted forest. The Gothics are on the council in the magic realm, and Amor, who was born in the early 1310s, he is still a teenager, because the way life aging works in the enchanted forest is 100% plot coded, meaning the characters are magical, so if I want them to stay alive, they will. So he is still alive. His younger brother Chadwick, who I have decided looks really evil, he's proper and romantic, and he wants a big happy family. I think he looks really evil though, so I'm playing around with the idea that maybe he betrays somebody, because you guys know Tiara's curse Tiara's prophecy, which basically was like a curse to their family, was never anything I set in stone. I really wanted to play with the idea that prophecies can be self-fulfilling if you read too much into them, because I already knew we were going to go to war in the challenge. In the end of the century of the 1300s, we have to eliminate an entire side household. That is literally in the challenge rules. So I thought it was really fun to say, oh, Tiara sees like half of the family being eliminated. Well, yeah, half the family is going to die anyways, naturally. So I kind of wanted it to be that originally she didn't put a lot of stock in her prophecy, but then Amor is like, no, like I'm having these visions too. And, you know, I wanted them to like hype each other up to the point of being self-fulfilling in this fear, but also using that as a plot device to lead us to the war. Since we are not playing historically accurate, looks like we're missing some clothes in the game. That's fine. The Brewers have officially moved here to the Enchanted Forest. There is some other families here. Evangeline with Vladimir, who is a very important player because he is the son of Merlin and actually the true heir to the Camelot and Avalon throne. So he is the true heir of all the lands. If you go back and listen to my story, I just want to put that out there that he is still alive. So we have a lot of people who could be alive, but Amor did just marry his granddaughter, Jocelyn, who is our family's Lancelot's son. So we have an alder out here in the Enchanted Forest, but they're essentially their own independent kingdom as well. Through the liberation of Henford-on-Bagley is the countryside of our kingdom. Avalon is the port city. Originally, it looks like they're missing clothes too. Originally, Avalon was the capital of Camelot, and this whole land, all the way to the magical realm, was Camelot. Taryn had learned about that, had decided that her brother, in his grief, never grew up to be a strong king. And through her rage, after meeting King of Moria, she decided to declare independence and take the countryside as an independent nation of Camelot, restoring it back to its prior ancient name, claiming that she is the a true descendant of Arthur, the king who took over after Merlin's family, had their whole "we're vampires now" thing. Merlin didn't have an heir, so he put a sword in the stone, and then Arthur pulled the sword in the stone, blah, 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 became the ancient King Arthur. So Taryn is like, I'm the true descendant of Arthur, and my husband, Arthur, embodies the spirit of the great King Arthur. So we are going to name our land back to its ancient name, Camelot, and I claim all the properties of Henford-on-Bagley and our countryside and our resources as an independent country. Well, not independent, they have a monarchy, but independent from Avalon and the magical realm. And they've also made a pact with the magical forest. The enchanted forest in the magical realm. I like to think like this is the area that leads to the enchanted forest, because, we kind of have like some swirly magical fairy stuff happening over here, and the elves are in the magical realm and all that stuff I made up in my head. Taryn has claimed this for herself. I'm just going over what happened in the last episode since I don't have a visual for you guys. That does leave Anne Alder, one of our family members. Well, Arthur is obviously an Alder as well. But that leaves her in a predicament because her husband raises horses for the King of Avalon, but since their lands have been seized by Taryn, I think that automatically makes them citizens of Camelot. They're gonna have to decide if they're gonna sign over their allegiance. Sorry, that feels really weird to say. Swear allegiance. There we go. Swear allegiance to Taryn and Arthur. I feel like she will though, because it's her uncle. Since moving out here, that is the closest she's been with family. So I would like to say that Arthur also wrote a letter to his family members letting them know that if they with any alder like to move out to Camelot and the rolling hills of Hemford on Bagley, that they are welcome to cross the borders and come over and have a place, not like in the hierarchy obviously, but have a place in the kingdom, and they can be not refugees of the war, because everyone this household really believes in this war destroying an entire alder line. Like, this is the war to do that, and they're protecting themselves. So he is saying anyone who wants to like come to our side, you're welcome to. Or if they need to, if they're a magical family and they need to pass through to go to the enchanted forest, they have safe passage on their roads, because the king of Moria hates magic. That is like why he wants to take over Avalon and Camelot. He wants to have access to it, he wants to control it and do either bad things with it or eliminate it altogether. Nobody really knows. They just know he hates magic and finds it disgusting. That brings us to our kingdom with 19 households in Windenburg. So the port of Windenburg is what we're calling Avalon. This would have been the main capital, Avalon Island. And then this would have been the city of Avalon. And we would have had, you know, Hemford on Bagley, and further on out the Enchanted Forest. This is obviously been really hard for the king. He's really weak and sick. He has officially gotten the letter of intent of war from Moria, which we will dive into the Pirate Queen as well, because right now she has been battling Moria in the background. When we do our first war video, we're going to see the king's reaction, and we're going to see that little battle they've been having on the sea with the Pirate Queen and Moria. The Prince John and his wife has had a child, and you know, all the monarchs have been married off and they are having children. Aldrich, so he is a family member. He's going to get married. So I'm actually going to take him and move him. Edgar has decided he is going to align himself with the Enchanted Forest, even though his uncle has taken care of him his whole life, you know, his uncle being the king. He really doesn't like the politics. His dad was the Witcher, you know, Ashton Alder. His mom was, you know, the daughter of Princess Eleanor and Lord Roderick Gothic. So he has decided to align himself with the magic kingdom. So I think I'm going to have him marry the daughter of Ama Brewer, who's in this household right here, Haven. I think we're going to have them get married. So we're going to do that because he, you know, needs to get married. And when it comes to the war, I'm sorry, this episode is kind of like a podcast. Oh, I just now noticed the video capture is sideways. Sorry, guys. I know this episode is more like a podcast of me telling you guys what's going on, but if you're a longtime follower of my Extreme Ultimate Decades Challenge, you understand why it is what it is. So I'm not going to do anything crazy with her because I'm going to be changing a lot of my CC and stuff when it comes to my medieval challenge. So I'm just going to put her in some clothes. I was really hoping that was going to be super high-waisted, but that was false hope. While I'm chatting to you guys, this episode is definitely more like a podcast. Let's see who gets married to who, and just bear with me. I know I'm making poor choices. Anyone who is a longtime follower knows that since I am a big storyteller, this is kind of an important time to stop and tell you guys what's going on in the world. I don't know why I'm vibing with this weirdness that I'm doing. This is so weird. Something else I am going to be doing, goofball and self-absorbed, and she wants to be okay, whatever. Something else I'm going to be doing is having everyone in our world who is getting married during the war roll to see if their partner is going to cheat on them during the war. So that will be a fun little thing to add to the plot. We'll call that another random act of life. I love how I never checked to see, I don't know what he is wearing, but that was never on the improved list. And look at her. She had clothes after all. And what is he wearing? I really think Ama Brewer's children are absolutely beautiful. She should also not be alive, but again, she's a magical creature. She is a spellcaster, but I'm also saying she's part elf. I don't have fairies in my game, but I do have elf. I'm saying she is part elf. There we go. I feel like her children are so beautiful. This episode is definitely going to be considered a behind the scenes. But like, look at how handsome he is. If we have a family member, we're going to have him go get married to her, him, whatever, whomever. This is her daughter. She's really beautiful. And then this is her. She definitely is giving elf vibes. So yeah, we're going to have them I hate to do MCC, but that's what we're going to do. Hope you guys don't hate me for it, but it's 12 a.m. I'm not going to force them to have a wedding in the morning when I have other family members to get married. So the first thing you do with MCC is give them max relationship to make it easy. You can change their levels after you get them married, but you have to give them max to make it an option, and then change them to spouse. And then since they're newly married, probably have just met, I like to go back and set active relationship levels to like acquaintance, romantic. They could be just friends starting off. And then that just gives them a little bit of like they're getting to know each other. So it's not deciding, you know, how they feel about each other. So their spouse, they're neutral on how they look. Their relationship is fine. So that way they can develop it on their own. But I'm no longer using the arranged marriage mod, which I actually really did like. So we'll have them kiss to celebrate their marriage. Romance, physical intimacy. I was hoping it would let them have their first kiss because sometimes it will. Oh yeah, this is definitely his first kiss if you can't tell. Not the strongest. I know sometimes people say they like the behind the scenes videos. Look at this. This is real life behind the scenes videos for you guys. And they ask how I do certain things, so this is how I do it. This little baby needs to be aged up. So unfortunately, I do have to make a cake because I have too many glitches. What are they doing? They're very happy. They're hot and heavy, just married. They're autonomously getting on really good. Edgar likes affection. He finds her completely irresistible. Look at them. So my game runs really smooth when I'm not on our main lots, but the problem is it doesn't matter after a little while in the save file, everything does start to really lag. So right now everything's okay. They're hitting it off really good. They're autonomously flirting, which is really great to see some autonomy. I actually have autonomy off right now too, so that's kind of crazy. They live in this tower that I downloaded. I don't think there's a kitchen in here, so the baby might not be aged up. The kid really should be a child, but we'll just go step by step to see if he can age up real fast. But we need to get Anders Brewer married off as well. So, all right, well, they're hitting it off really good. I guess they can look at their relationship. I'm really happy for them because this was just something I randomly decided and hoped it would work. I would like to see how far it's going. Still neutral satisfaction about Edgar. How does Edgar feel about her? Oh, wait, that's not Edgar. Edgar. How do you feel about Haven, Edgar? Neutral, and he's very satisfied with his marriage. That's fine. That's great. I don't think they can woohoo. I don't think there's a place for them to. So I'm just going to let that be for now. But they are very happy and very satisfied. The baby very much hates me because I try to age it out with MCC and it's an infant. I've decided to be nice and bake a cake. I actually also think I might find a way for them to woohoo, because I want what I'm going in to do today. Oh wait, it's not bake a cake, it's cook a cake. What I'm gonna do today is go in and save every single household to my gallery, to my tray file. And that way I can download them into a new save file. That way we have everyone in our new world. Edgar and Haven have a wholesome relationship that is absolutely beautiful. Gosh, that food sounds really good. We'll do a blue confetti cake. I also wanna put them down a woohoo spot. I wonder if they will autonomously woohoo. I think I have like 3 cousins I have to get married, so we don't have that many, but I did want to check. Can you not get into the house? What is blocking the way? The bush? Oh, that happened to me in that live I did. The debug bush I placed was blocking the stairs from working. It was chronically the most annoying situation I had to deal with. I think I'm treating this video kind of like how I do live. Where I just talk to you guys and play The Sims. So I hope you guys are okay with this format. I will always end up doing what makes me the most happy because, again, Sims is a hobby for me. It would be wonderful if this was my paid profession, but it is a hobby for me. So I don't want to change who I am. I want to be very authentic. I don't want to upset anyone and someone not like what I'm doing, but, you know, this is just me playing The Sims, talking to an imaginary person behind the camera about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So this is how I'm playing. Okay, everything's going really good with them. I really do want to see if they autonomously woohoo, because I had that happen to me recently. I mean, if you're uncomfortable, change your clothes, dude. Oh, wait, I have autonomy off and he's actually listening to that. I love that for him. Where's the change? It's the same outfit. All right. Why don't you bring in your infant sister? I don't really know. And then put them in there. Is this what is it? Waldemar. I'm assuming brother. That is a name though. Okay, well, they're not prompting a woohoo, so I'm gonna have them try for a baby, and if they get pregnant, cool. Oh, look at their relationship. I've been here for like 4 sim hours, and they did this all on their own. That makes me really happy for them. Way to go, guys. This is a really weird place to woohoo, but let's just pretend it's in a magical portal. Okay. Oh, don't eat the cake. Hey, Ama Brewer, who definitely, like I said, should be passed away, but she's part elf, so maybe she lives for like a couple hundred years, so she gets to stay alive. I mean, right now she's probably only like 60. Maybe she had that affair with Jedediah, but obviously she's so much older now and that's not her life anymore. She was married to a really strict pastor, and or Father Brewer, however you want to say it. That's who the dad is to the rest of her kids are. I feel like she married him to blend in with, you know, the normal humans or the normal Sims, and didn't want anyone to know she was part ancient elf. And not that he was a bad guy, but, you know, he was a very strict husband as per the times. And now that he is gone, I'm pretty sure she's just happy. All right, Waldmare, you're inquisitive, but don't worry, you're not done yet. You need to at least be a child. One more age up, and then Avon. They are trying for a baby outside in the bush. And then we'll get Anders married. I wonder who I want to marry Anders. And does he change his allegiance and go to a different city, I wonder? See what's happening. Why do you want to see what's happening? Leave them alone. They just got married. And I mean, he's watching again because the autonomy's off. Duh. Oh, they're really high up on relationship. They're very happy. All right, I'm just going to cheat and see if she got pregnant. She did. They're having a baby girl. Oh my goodness. That's so wonderful for them. Yay, yay, yay. All right, more choices. Help blow out candles. Waldmare. Waldmare? I'm very bad at pronunciation. It's not my forte, but whatever. I'm playing my game how I want. Happy birthday. I did not know I would spend this long in this family, but I just really want to chat with you guys. I want you guys to know what I'm trying to do, what's going on. This is a background episode, but it is important. Waldmire is outgoing and creative. Oh, and Kate, remember, Kadian is our illegitimate, you know, half cousin or whatever, but this is his mom. This is Kadian's mom. All right, so I am going to wait to go into cast until I'm saving their family. All right, now big-eyed Anders, who's part elf. Who are you going to marry? And are you going to venture outside of Glimmerbrook looking for a bride? Because I feel like he has to. And most of our brides will be in Windenburg. So I want to see who I have. I think Robin's son should either be a teenager or he might be 12. I need to check because he is the same age as Princess Taryn's daughters and their kids. So we don't have any kids there, and that would be his brother anyways. Their kids, I think they're toddlers. So yeah, that's looking right, but they're not anyone we can marry. Thought we had a lot of people who can get married. She can get married. Oh, we do have daughter of Eliza Merriman is John Merriman's daughter. And oh yeah. Both of her parents are dead. So her brother he needs to go run the tavern. In a few episodes ago, you guys saw he got married to Hattie and Henry Godwin. They are the children, Henry and Naomi are the children of Euphema Godwin and Calvin, and they're both dead. So Naomi's been running this tavern, and then there's a tavern over here that I was going to give to him, but he's the head of household. So his sister can get married. Also, Eliza can get married. I'm looking to see if we have any alders first who need to get married. None there, except for we need to get our cousin Charmant married to a eligible. We also have a cousin here, right here. Jonathan needs to get married as well. Looks like we might not have enough ladies. They have a son that needs to get married as well. Ali, yeah. I don't think we have any female family members. So I'm going to leave Anders Brewer. I'm going to leave Anders Brewer as an eligible bachelor for the future. Yes, I know Hattie doesn't have any clothes on. I'm not really worried about it. We're all going to a new save file soon. Also, in the last episode, I had someone run away. So I need to go ahead and have her run away. Lady Rosalind ran away. Her mom, Anna, helped her. And her brother, Edard, is betraying like the whole family. I want to say that she also took her little sister, who is supposed to be a child. I'm going to say that's why her mom defended and poisoned Princess Josephine. She's in prison right now. I'll give them a teeny bit of money just for like what she could carry. They ran away and they're going to come back to Avalon. So that's where they are. Oh, you know what? He can marry one of the people in the Enchanted Forest. So we will arrange that marriage. Sometimes I do it this way. Sometimes I'll like plan it out and see who they find in the wild. I don't always have a plan. I just want to have fun. So sometimes if I had to play a story that I pre-wrote, it wouldn't be fun for me. So if I just made it up as I go, it's just more fun. Yeah. Because I know some people thought I was like already having certain plans made. I will not have fun if I plan everything out, because I actually just would like to make up the story as I go, which is kind of why it is so chaotic. Jocelyn is the youngest daughter of Lancelot and Millicent. Remember, Millicent is the daughter of Vladimir and Evangeline. Okay. Now that all that has been retold for like the 100th time, sorry. Jocelyn is their only daughter who had magical powers. So she is going to marry Amor because Amor is essentially the leader. The Enchanted Forest isn't going to have a monarchy because people live for a really long time. So we have a couple of princes over here from different family lines. So they're essentially run by a magical council that comes out of the magic realm, but it is still a kingdom. So Amor is like the representative king, but he's not really the king. I hope that makes sense. I made it up. I'm not using anything as a reference. I literally just made it up. So I'm going to have their oldest daughter, Angelina. Yeah, Angelina. Marry, where's he at? I'm going to have their oldest daughter marry Anders, which I think is going to be such a powerful match because he's part elf. So Evangeline's family has been intermarried with the elves throughout the centuries. It's not really strong, but she is a very strong magical person because of that, and she's literally centuries old. And so is her daughter Millicent, obviously coming from the Merlin family line, and Evangeline of Besgareth. So Angelina she's not magical, but her bloodline is really strong, and I think they're going to make really beautiful babies. So that's exciting. So they're so cute. I'm going to move them in somewhere and have them try for baby. All right, so I dropped them down in New Crest. I really wish the set dressing wasn't in New Crest because it would be literally perfect for the Extreme Ultimate Decade Challenge. All right, Angelina and Anders are extremely different in height, so their kissing is terrible, but, they're trying their best. They love romance, apparently. Oh, they're so cute. So I'm going to have them try for a baby, see if they get pregnant. Literally so cute. I love them so much already. By the way, they are pregnant. They did get pregnant, so I'm very excited. I don't want to spoil what every future pregnancy is going to be, so I'm not going to tell you guys, but I did check, so I'm very happy for them. It took us 3 tries, but that's okay. Oh, it looks like our cousin had another baby, Jeffrey. They do not get rolled for because they're not a side household. They're a cousin household. That's really fun. So we need Ali to get married, so I think I'm going to have him move out. Okay, I'm going to have him move out, and I'm going to find him a bride. I think I'm going to have Ali marry Cassandra from the tavern. So that is where he is going to go. The reason I'm doing a lot of this from the main menu and from the new lots is because loading into some of these lots is not working. Again, I told you, especially my Windenburg town, the save file is not doing good. So I'm doing a lot of this just from the main menu, but I want you guys to know what's going on with the background characters. That's why I am showing it. We're going to give them 10,000 just from their parents. They run the tavern, but I'm going to move them out to New Crest again. I'm just trying to go to lots that actually will load. I was trying to load Elijah's lot and my game kept crashing. So this is how I've decided to do it. Oh no. But yeah, I just want to share that full transparency. The reason this is kind of not the fun way to do it is I want you guys to know what's going on in the world. I want you to know who's procreating, who's not procreating, who's going to be called out to war. These are all our eligible guys. They're very young. I don't want to talk about how young they are, but just know that they are just aged up. But since they will be eligible for war, we're going to go ahead and get everyone married, trying for a baby, because the second day, I haven't played a full day in 1337 yet. I've only started the year. The second day is when I'm going to do call to war, draft, and then the king is going to call the draft and everyone's going to have to leave. So I want to have people starting on babies. I remember when Ali was born, so cute. He was held by his grandpa, Jacob. Jacob took care of Ollie all the time. You like how I'm giving everyone these little tent houses in a bush. They're really hitting it off. They have a steamy relationship. Okay, I reset their relationship, but they are hitting it off really well. So oh, cool. They autonomously are trying for a baby. Good for them. Let's check with, they are neutral. She's neutral about him, but very satisfied. She thinks Anthony is hideous. Is there anyone she finds attractive that she knows? Don't watch them, you peeping Tom. You're freaking disgusting. Oh, she finds Anders very unattractive. He finds her to be neutral as well. Okay, that's fine with me. You guys don't have to be overly excited about each other. Okay, you get no home in our new game. He's like, why aren't they in a bed? How dare they? You know what? Screw you. It's young love. Leave them be. All right, come on, guys. All right, I'm going to quickly see if she got pregnant. I feel so lucky. Okay, so right now I've only had one family I had to try 3 times. Everyone else is autonomously woohooing and autonomously getting pregnant. And I have the pregnancy odds set through MCC according to the game. So it's at like, what, 30%, 33%. So I'm feeling really lucky, but I'm happy about it. All right, I think we have one more cousin, which I'm going to make them woohoo at least 3 times to see if they get pregnant. After 3, I decide, okay, maybe there's a problem, like I did with that one royal household. Elijah has a son who needs to get married. And then Charmant. That is it. I'm going to save Charmant's marriage for when we actually do a gameplay, because he is in our main household. He's not a part of our main household, but he is in the main household, and he will be, I think we're going to find out about the war at his wedding. So I think that's what I'm going to do for Charmant. So this is our last wedding of this episode. So we have our first family member who's going to be going to a different world. Marquez Burton has an eligible daughter named Avery. I think she will be a great match for Jonathan, who is, you know, Jonathan is the nephew of King Arthur, or King Consort Arthur and Queen Taryn in Camelot. So the Marquez, of course, would use he has tons of children. Of course, he would give his eldest daughter's hand to a farmer boy who has ties with the royal family. And they obviously are coming from, you know, they're poor alders. They're not like the richer alders. They are very, very poor. Ever since his tavern burned down, they never, their last name is Connorson, but they're alders. Ever since their tavern burned down, you know, he never really got back, or his pub, he never got back on his feet when it came to that. And he never took his mom's money. Remember, his mom is Ophelia, the bad mom. That's literally what I call her. So I think he sent his son away to save him from being drafted in the war, which I haven't talked about how we're going to do that. I think he sent him to the countryside and moved him out to Camelot just to protect his son. I really like that idea. So now that I've said that, Windenburg is going to have all males drafted who are teens. Every single teen is going in Windenburg. So the guys you just saw, Ali and our other cousin, who I can't remember his name now, Charmant, they're all 100% going. For adults, I'm going to do a 50-50 chance. Young adults and adults, I'm going to do a 50-50 chance. 30% for Henford-on-Bagley, aka Camelot, because maybe, you know, they're going to go volunteer to fight with Avalon. It's their family. And for the Magic Realm and the residents of the Enchanted Forest of Glimmerbrook, there is going to be a 20% chance. That is how I am doing it, based on the way our map is set up. But remember, we roll every 5 years. I'm depending on who or what conquering happens, because I have different ideas for war, and I don't want to give everything away and you guys like lose this one plot piece that I actually have. Depending on how the war goes and who wins the battle and what country is ahead will depend on the percentage of each area changing. And I also will be plopping down a lot more families, a lot more just in every single world when we have our new save. So it's going to be fun. I'm really excited. All right. It looks like the lady is not feeling good. I mean, it says she's feeling great, but she looks like she's like, oh boy, I'm marrying a farmer, a grandson of a farmer. They're not even farmers. They're just like homesteaders. She looks like she's not sure what she got into. Well, we're going to have them try for a baby. So Jonathan Connorson. It'd be nice if someone who we recently got married found someone attractive. But they're all feeling really neutral about everything. And of course, Agatha is going to be watching because everybody's being creepers right now. Do you find Avery attractive? No? Okay, whatever. They're married, by the way. I used MCC to do it. It was just easier. Woo! Frisky Jonathan. Okay. All right, let's see if she's pregnant. And this is, I'll show you guys this one. Oh, okay. Yay. Yay me. Okay, cool. Awesome. Good for you, Jonathan. You're going to be a dad. Hopefully you don't die in war. He has a less % chance of going than his dad does. So his dad has a 50% chance and he has a 35%, which we will do in the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this behind the scenes, watching our family members get married. We had a very high success rate. Everyone got pregnant. Only one took me 3 times to get them pregnant. So that's very exciting because I only ever give it 3 tries before I wait a little while to try again. So that is great because I feel like these war rolls are going to be intense. Like I said, I'm making every teen in Windenburg go. Every male teen in Windenburg going to war. All right. See you guys soon. Bye.